everyone, this is Charmaine here, and I'm the registered dietitian that helps people reverse type 2 diabetes. And I have Aileen here, who is our reversing diabetes program client. You can say hi to everyone, Aileen.
Hello.
Awesome. Well, Aileen, what made you reach out to me?
Well, I had definitely seen your information sessions on Instagram, and I was in the midst of some medical work where they were looking at my blood sugar, and things were high, and um, I was being offered one more medication to lower blood sugar, and it was a little bit of the last straw. I thought, I'm not doing it. I just, that's not what I want to do. I want to find another way. I just knew there was another way. Like I said, I'd seen your information sessions. I'd seen information sessions from other people speaking about the reversal. So I said, I know there's a different way. And that's when I reached out to see what exactly what it all's about. So, how can I get involved in it? What can I do for me to take control of all of this? Because it just wasn't one more medication. It just couldn't be one more script written.
Yeah.
I hated the idea of it, really did.
Do you feel like you were kind of in a cycle of, all right, your blood sugar's higher, there's more medications, and you just want
So stronger, more and more. And it just, once you're on it also, they just leave you on it. That's the other piece. Everybody just kind of leaves you on it and never kind of checks back to see what's happening, how it's affecting you, all that sort of thing. I mean, unless you're calling the doctor, they're certainly not calling you to see how things are progressing, or, you go every 3 months, you do your A1C or whatever, and that's the end of that. And yeah, the cycle was getting tiring.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's frustrating too, right? Like, all right, you told me to lower blood sugar, you didn't really give me any, direction on how to.
No
There's
path,
more medications.
no path, just a medication. No, certainly nothing. Of course, I think right at the beginning there were some information classes, but they were of course, talking about exercise and that sort of thing. But again, no true path to all of it.
And it's usually managing diabetes.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, no true path to how that was supposed to be done.
Yeah, got it. And so what would you say is your why and motivation to reverse diabetes rather than managing it?
For it to be in my control. For me to have the controls of all of this too, that was the driving force. So not, when you go and you realize it's either higher, it's higher. What do you do then? And then more medication. I just no more on that. So it was me being empowered and having the controls, that if things were not going the way that they were supposed to, that I had a path to turn things around.
Yeah, I love that. You being able to have the power to create your own path, right?
Absolutely. Just so you didn't feel at the mercy of, whatever your doctor said. And like I said, the last appointment I had was with an endocrinologist who saw me for maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes. I had sort of a pre-book-in wait, some information about my my blood sugar, but saw me for 10 minutes and then wrote a script. And I was like, don't even know me. How do you know that works for me?
Right.
So it's a trial and error also, right? You say, they give you something, it doesn't work for you, and then they say, okay, we'll stop that, and then they'll give you something else, and then you have this cupboard full of half used medications. So that I wanted to stop.
Yeah. it's trial and error, but at the expense of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you get some side effects that don't fit with you, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I can't do it anymore. So they take you off of it, and then they find something else to put you on. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wearying.
yeah, that makes sense. And can you describe a little bit of, what this reversing diabetes journey has been for you? How did it look like for you?
Well, I had started treatments for another medical issue, and
Mm-hmm.
that was sort of messing with my blood sugar. So it all
Right.
coincided with the start of
Mm-hmm.
the program.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, they had sort of warned me that the treatments would most likely increase my blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the things that was like, oh no, here I am starting the program, and I've got something going on that will increase my blood sugar. But
Mm-hmm.
I found with the eating the way that, was sort of laid out for me and all that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing, even with that, my blood sugars went down. Even though they
Wow.
had said to me, one of the things that are going to happen is going to go up. It didn't.
Wow.
It didn't.
That's awesome.
It
That's
went
really
down.
great.
Um, um, and it was a marked difference within like a month.
Mm-hmm.
So, morning blood sugars were very low
Mm-hmm.
compared to what they had been prior.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly that was not what I was expecting, because they did say to me, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to see maybe a rise and
Mm-hmm.
it'll go away after a while. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the rise never happened.
Wow.
So that was thrilling
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
not have that I could see even and eating the way that I was eating through the
Mm-hmm.
program. I really believe that I healed faster.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as a number of the side effects that I had been told I would see, I didn't see. And I
Wow.
think that's because of the plant-based diet. I
Mm-hmm.
really believe that that made the difference, that my body
Mm-hmm.
wasn't working so hard to sort of digest my food, that
Mm-hmm.
it had time to heal itself. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna stick to that story because I
Yeah.
100% believe that it made the difference in
Mm.
how fast I got moving to healing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And what would you say, throughout transitioning to a mostly plant-based lifestyle, what would you say is your biggest tip to, people that are starting?
Um, I think the fact that you don't have to limit how much you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and eat. Have
Yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
as as long as it's plant-based, go ahead and eat.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of fun. You could
Mm-hmm.
pile your plate as high as you wanted to, as long
Mm-hmm.
as it looked. And I think one of the first things that I made was a cauliflower curry
Ooh.
with brown rice.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I can't begin to tell you how much I enjoyed that.
That's
Like,
awesome.
you know, so you could eat all of that, and
Mm-hmm.
you got satisfied, you're satiated without feeling like you'd done something wrong. Usually, the
Mm-hmm.
satiation comes and you feel overly full. That wasn't
Right.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was much easier to let go of the animal proteins than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really like, really? Because I think at the beginning I said to you, well, I really eat a lot of fish. Can I not eat fish? Like,
Yeah.
do I have to stop that? And you
Yeah.
were like, well, no, but now you have to eat
Mm-hmm.
certain types, and you can't, you've got to watch when and how much you eat it. So
Mm-hmm.
I love the nothing was sort of completely off limits. It's now about when can you do that, and you
Mm-hmm.
can fit it in, you can have a
Mm-hmm.
treat, but
Mm-hmm.
you stay the course, and the staying the
Mm-hmm.
course was much easier than I thought it would be at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The preparation, I think, is everything. You have to be ready to have your meals there,
Mm-hmm.
ready to go.
Yeah.
If even you and I think what was the putting things together. I forgot what you all
Mm-hmm.
called it. But at first I was just making meals, but then I realized,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that I
You can
have
mix and
broccoli, make
match
sure that I
different
have
foods.
quinoa, make sure that,
Mm-hmm.
just make sure that you have stuff and you can put a meal together. It
Mm-hmm.
became so simple as
Mm-hmm.
long, and just had to, preparation though. I really
Yeah.
do say that preparation is
Yeah.
the key to your success,
I
is to
love
make
that.
sure that you've got your meals ready. I cook on Sundays till Wednesday at least. Make sure that I have stuff at least until Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll figure out the rest of the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really much easier than I thought. The support also
Mm-hmm.
is everything, because the
Mm-hmm.
fact that I sometimes I get a little confused, like, can I do this? And all I have to do is ask. And
Yeah.
I don't think more than 3 hours ever went by before I got an
Mm-hmm.
answer to my
Mm-hmm.
question.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
the
awesome.
support it's invaluable. And the fact that
Thank
you all
you.
say you're going to be there and are truly there,
Mm-hmm.
made a huge difference. That
Oh,
you knew that you could ask a question and it wouldn't take 2 days or something to get an answer same day. I don't,
mm-hmm.
honestly, I don't think I've ever asked a question that I didn't get an answer in
Yeah.
hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to hear that. And, would you say a lot of times that transition, when people feel like, all right, like, I don't know if I can do plant-based or not. Do you feel like a lot of times it's like a mindset thing or, in your case?
absolutely. I
Mm-hmm.
I I think you have to know you're not going to starve. I think that's what people think is going to happen. If I'm not
Mm-hmm.
eating this animal protein, I won't be satiated. Well, you
Mm-hmm.
absolutely won't be satiated, because
Mm-hmm.
believe me, you'd be amazed at what you could do with
Yeah.
cauliflower and cabbage and broccoli. Like,
Yeah.
I'm every week, and beans are half the price of meat, like
Yeah.
a quarter of the price of meat. That's the
Really.
other thing.
Mm-hmm.
The legumes are on sale almost every week at some
Mm-hmm.
grocery store.
All right.
So finding ways to using it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would never have thought
Yeah.
that could be done.
Mm-hmm.
Like beans for
Mm-hmm.
breakfast. I mean, I know somebody must eat it like that, but I come from a household that breakfast looks a certain way. It's
Mhm,
eggs, it's toast, it's all that sort of thing. And lunch looks a certain way, dinner looks a certain way.
mhm.
And now I am free to do whatever. The same thing I ate for dinner last night, I'll have for breakfast the next morning. It just really doesn't
Awesome.
matter.
Yeah.
But to know that you will be satiated, because you
Mhm,
really can eat foods that have volume. I mean,
mhm.
it will fill you up.
Yeah.
And there's so many interesting recipes out there.
Mhm.
My scrolling is about finding recipes. That's what I do for
I
fun now,
love that.
is trying to find
Mhm,
all sorts of recipes. Yeah,
mhm,
some of them turn out, some of them don't.
mhm.
But yeah, that's half the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, the vegetables get cooked. As long as they're cooked, everybody in the
Mhm.
household's willing to eat them. If they sit in the crisper, they'll just spoil. But because they're being cooked all the
Mhm.
time, everybody's happy to eat them.
I
So
love
it's
that.
not just me; the
Yeah.
family's getting it too.
I love that. The whole family is
Yeah,
changing. And I think a lot
everybody's
of,
in.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of times too, when people are living with diabetes, they're very used to meals that just have like, you know, for example, like chicken and salad or fish and, like grilled, I don't know, asparagus. Like that's their meal. So the second that I say like plant-based, they're like, okay, well, do I just eat the vegetables? Like what else can I eat? But what you're saying is that your whole world has a different door that you're opening up to, right? Like there's, not just recipes in the program, but there's like recipes on, TikTok. Your whole world is,
Absolutely
Mhm.
everywhere. I mean, I use Yumly.
Yeah.
Certainly Pinterest has a ton of
Uh-huh.
stuff. Like,
Hmm.
there are other people out there that are doing just plant-based
Hmm.
recipes. Um, the other thing that I thought was going to be hard was getting away from the oil, was
Hmm.
getting away from using vegetable oils, olive oil.
Hmm.
Olive oil goes into almost everything when they say it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's like this, you know, this is a good fat, so you can use it. And I thought, oh no, geez, no, no olive oil. I haven't bought olive oil in 4 months,
Yeah. Yeah.
and everything gets fried just perfectly in the I
Mm-hmm.
can saute in the water,
Mm-hmm.
using the water that the legumes are soaked in, the beans,
Mm-hmm.
that adds a little bit of something,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of starch to things
Mm-hmm.
so that you can thicken stews and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Million things you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many things you can do. And I would not have said back in May
Mm-hmm.
that that was all possible. I
Yeah.
just didn't know. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you just don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the beautiful part of it. This is a whole other arena has opened up for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you can take control of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of, you get the little midnight snacks or little nighttime snacks and you want something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is now, some steamed broccoli,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or something like that. And you can make all sorts of dressings that have no oil in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's mustard and lemon juice and something, and there you go.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh,
Honestly, I had no idea this could be done. So
that's
that
awesome.
part of it was worth everything for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel empowered. I
Mm-hmm.
know that no matter what happens, that I have this.
Mm-hmm.
This knowledge is mine to keep.
Yeah.
I will always know how to get back on track should I ever
Mhm.
get off track.
I love that. I love that. You have all the tools you need for the
I
rest
do.
of your life, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I
So
love
that part
that.
of it is what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, that's awesome. And if you don't mind sharing, what are the results that you've been seeing? Can you share some numbers, some results that you've been
Sure.
seeing?
So, if the one of the things that we were working on is that my A1C was, I think, 7.8. I know you
Mm-hmm.
guys have a different kind of calculation, but mine
Uh-huh.
was 7.8, and the last one was 6.5.
Wow.
I come down to
Mm-hmm.
6.5, and I've lost 15 pounds. And
Wow.
that's without, I haven't tried, I haven't done anything to
Yeah.
do that. I am walking more.
Mm-hmm.
So after my evening meal, I do go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
But those pounds have come off without
Wow.
the focus on
Without
losing.
thinking about it,
I haven't
right?
had to think about it.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah, that,
amazing.
and first you're going, am I losing weight? And then
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
amazing.
That was a very pleasant, unexpected result of
Hmm.
all of this, because it never even occurred to me that that would happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how are you feeling energy levels wise?
Energy levels are great because,
Mm-hmm.
again, that evening walk, usually by the time you get to the evening, a full day of work, you get to the evening, you're feeling sluggish. No,
Mm-hmm.
the sleeping at night is better.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things I was struggling with, maybe getting 2 hours, 3 hours a night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that was due to the high blood sugar. But
Mm-hmm.
now, when I wake up, it's time to wake up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not 3 o'clock in the morning anymore. It's actually
Oh.
time to wake up. So I do see a shift in my sleep. I see a shift in energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, even the energy to prep.
Yeah.
Um, at the beginning, it felt like a lot of work, but now it's like I can get the grocery store and be back by 9 a.m. and have everything
Uh-huh.
done by 11.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So yeah,
love that.
the energy level is invaluable because we know we're all tired.
Mhm. Yeah, and I
All
think that's
tired.
the biggest thing, right? Like when it comes to reversing diabetes, it's not just about your A1C. Yeah, like your A1C will go lower and lower, but the main thing is about your energy, right? Like
Yeah,
imagine how much more life you get to live when you have more
yeah,
energy, right?
it's
So,
true. And you
mhm,
want to do things. I mean, it's none of this,
mhm,
you've hit a certain, time of the day and you're like, I can't even move off this couch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not like that at all. You know, I have
Mhm.
the energy to do the things that I want to do.
I
And
love
that's been,
that.
and again, throughout my journey with my other medical issues, that was also something
Hmm.
that they said you will struggle with energy.
Hmm.
I haven't really,
Yeah.
haven't,
That's amazing.
I
That's
haven't.
very good to hear.
I've seen little dips here and there as I was going through treatment,
Hmm.
but certainly not to the extent that
Yeah.
I was cautioned
Yeah.
that might happen.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. That's amazing. And what would you say to someone that is on the fence about reversing diabetes? What would you say to them?
Well, I say uh, you will benefit from being empowered. It is about having the tools that you can use to reverse this, not
Hmm.
dependent necessarily, of course, with doctors'
Hmm.
advice, but not leaning on other people telling you how this is going to work. You will have the
Hmm.
tools and you will see the results. If you're following the program, I think you will see the results fast enough because that's what we all want, right? No,
Hmm.
nobody wants to wait a long period of time. Everybody wants to have things immediately. So
Hmm.
I think you will see results fast enough to know that
Hmm.
this is worthwhile.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you will see it so quickly that you can't deny that it's working
Hmm.
for you.
Yeah.
So I say you have to give it a try. And again, if you're like me, I like things, I like to be in control of it for
Yeah.
myself. Not
Hmm.
for anybody else, but for me, I like to be in control of
Hmm.
things. And if that's you, this will give you the tools. You will see the results. You will
Hmm.
have some unexpected results, like the weight
Yeah.
loss.
Hmm.
And I think that will convince anybody
Yeah.
that they're on the right path. I think you will
Hmm.
see results so quickly that you can't help but know that you're on the right path.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. And I think that's the main thing. I think a lot of people, whenever it comes to lifestyle, it has to get you results, right? If it doesn't get
Yes.
you results, you won't want to stick to
No.
it, right? And I love that you're able to see the results and be able to, just keep on keeping on with what you're doing and
Yeah.
finding things that work for you, right? I think that is also super
And we're
important.
also very impatient. If things, in this, add water and stir world, everybody wants to see everything immediately. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that was surprising to me is that I only do my blood sugar in the morning. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's when I do it. And sort of very quickly within a month, like I said, I saw the numbers just going
Wow.
down. You can go
Mm-hmm.
back into your device and see
Mm-hmm.
all of the numbers. So I could
Mm-hmm.
track that, yeah, from week 1 to week 4, there was a marked difference,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew that things were working.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, it just was a lot easier than I thought. I did have a bit of a, had to kind of get the mindset turned
Right.
around. I kept
Mm-hmm.
thinking, well, maybe I'll use a little bit of olive oil, or I'll do a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of this, and then, but I decided like go whole hog, go in, saute in water, all that sort of thing. You can't taste any differences.
Mm-hmm.
It, I would never have known that. I would
Yeah.
never have guessed that you would
Mm-hmm.
not be able to taste the
Yeah.
difference with anything.
That's
It's pretty
amazing.
special. It's
Yeah.
pretty special. And again, your team is, yeah, it's very encouraging to have
Mm-hmm.
those weekly sessions,
Mm-hmm.
to get feedback on your food
Mm-hmm.
journal, all the things to kind of keep you accountable and B encouraged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I love
can't beat
that.
that. Can't
Thank
beat
you
that.
so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I always think that, I'm really grateful that I have amazing team members, Cara, Winston, Galia, they're able
Yeah.
to help you through with it. So
So
I
Cara
love it.
was my contact, and yeah, you know, to get your little session, get your voicemail, like going through the food journal. This is what
Mhm.
suggestions on what you could do a little bit better, all that sort of
Mhm.
thing. And I employed everything she told me. So she said,
Yeah.
you know, give this a try. I give it a try.
Awesome.
And it really, you know, is such a different way. There are so many different things in my pantry now than there
Mhm.
were 4 months ago, you
Yeah,
know?
I love that.
So that is all the difference.
Mhm.
Um, Eating the fruit that you like.
Mhm.
How many people tell you you can't eat fruit when
Yep.
when you have high blood sugar and all these different things, and
Mhm.
all of it just kind of comes
Right.
together and works for you. And like I said, you
Mhm.
cannot. It takes about a month, I would say. For me, it was a month.
Yeah.
Maybe people will be faster, but the
Mhm.
results are so quick that you can't
Yeah.
not know that it's working. You absolutely know it's working for you
Yeah.
because the results are so quick.
I love that. And how do you wrap your mind around now that you're eating more carbs and you're lowering your blood sugar? How does that make sense in your head?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because that means there's a vast um, amount of misinformation out there
Mhm.
surrounding carbs and blood sugar.
Mhm.
Because, you know, everybody tells you you have to go keto, you have to go low fat, like
Mhm.
all these different things that you have to do. And the
Mhm.
thing with the carbs is you're satiated.
Yes.
It's like
Mhm.
you're eating real food,
Mhm.
and you're full.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just it pretty much, it tastes good and it's filling. I don't know what more
Mhm.
you want than that. Yeah, I cannot, I can't quite put it together. Your explanation works for me. I
Mhm.
fully understand that it's about increasing your tolerance for
Right.
those carbohydrates. That is
Mhm.
where we're trying to get to increase your
Yes.
tolerance for it. And
Mhm.
without the animal fat sort of clogging things up,
Mhm.
that can be more easily achieved. So
Yeah.
I've had a ton of fun with the learning sessions. Couldn't wait
Mhm.
every week for more information to come, because I really did get into it. And I listened while it came in. I go back on certain
Mhm.
things and get it again. The fact that it's available to me,
Mhm.
that's all I wanted. I wanted it at my fingertips. I wanted to be on my terms. I wanted to control what was happening to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I want to control it without one more medication,
Yeah.
because, I'm in Canada, and as you get older, I mean, it's universal health care, but as
Mhm.
you get older, you're going to have to, and you're no longer working and have
Mm.
benefits, you're going to have to start paying for more and more. And you just don't want this, you know, litany of
Mhm.
medications that you're on and
Mhm.
paying for. So
Yeah.
I I think I'm fairly close to losing at least two of them.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
My
That's so
I think my
exciting.
doctor's a little hesitant to
Mhm.
move to take me off of
Mhm.
things, but I don't think she'll have much choice soon enough.
Yeah. It's just gonna go down and
Yeah, it's
down
going to go
and
down, and there'll be nothing that to do but take me off of it.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
we'll see what happens with that. But
Awesome.
this has been exactly what I wanted in the way of
Oh.
control.
Well, thank you so much. And I really appreciate you sharing everything. And I think one thing that really stands out to me is just your desire to empower yourself,
Yeah,
and then we're just the how, right? But you
yeah,
had the why in mind and you have the right mindset in mind, right? Yes, like even though you had some blockage of like, I don't know if I can do this or not, but the second that you're able to, overcome that, you're able to knock it out of the park. So thank you so much for sharing your story, Aileen.
thank you, thank you.
Yes.
I can't recommend this enough.
Aw.
I think it is something that everybody needs to know about, because it
Mm-hmm.
it works.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, how many times I always say when you spend your money and you get what you spent it on,
Mhm.
that's everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And it helps you be able to save future costs on
yeah,
diabetes, right? Yeah, yeah. I love that. Well,
yes.
thank you so much for sharing,
Thank you. I
Aileen. I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
me too. I appreciate it. And for those of you who are watching, if you want to learn more about the science of reversing insulin resistance, the science of reversing diabetes, make sure you watch the free training, just like Aileen did. And if you're interested in working with us, feel free to book a call with us and we'll be able to help you out with that. So thank you so much, everyone. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.